Hi guys, welcome back to Real Time Theory, and we have our first look at the Season 2 poster for the Wheel of Time, which is of course dropping on September the 1st. Anyway, without further ado, I think we should just kind of showcase this Season 2 poster and go over everything we can see and decipher from within it. So yeah, here it is. I have to say it's a very nice looking poster. I like how they've arranged it. I like where the characters are on it, and I like the kind of differing contrasts that we have going on both on the left and the right. There's a lot, quite a bit we can discuss within the poster because there's a lot in here that's going on. So just to briefly summarize what's in this poster, we have of course front and center being the showpiece of this particular poster is Moraine, of course, Rosamund Pike. Then we have on either side of her Rand, Matt and Perrin, and then on the left we have Lan, Nynaeve and Egwene. And then further beneath both of these two sides of characters we have what looks to be a battle between the Seanchan and, well, it's a bit difficult to make out who they're battling. I think it actually maybe is something slightly different at play here. So yeah, those are the kind of things that we can see happening within the poster itself, but I want to go into a little bit more depth and detail regarding it. So I really want to start off with something that really caught my attention, boom, instantaneously, and that is of course the two differing threads of the One Power. Now this is something that I cannot remember if it was kind of highlighted in any episode within the first season, because I haven't watched it since the first season dropped. But in this particular poster we have the two differing kind of imagery going on here between the One Power saidin and saidar. So of course we have for the female side of the One Power saidar, we have of course it kind of being showcased in this blue aura, this blue mist, these blue threads going around both Egwene and Nynaeve, almost, encompassing them. And that's something I really like. It's kind of like showcases the kind of serenity and harmony that we associate with the female side of this, the One Power, which is very much in contrast to what we see engulfing Rand on the top right hand corner. We have this very much kind of almost this molten lava kind of colouring of saidin, and that's something I really like. It's almost like a pulsating colour, although of course we don't have any kind of moving parts to a poster of course, but this is how I kind of imagine it playing out on the show in the second season, if of course they do go down this route and I'm not mistaken in how I remember how they showcased saidin and saidar in season 1. And it just shows the differences between the two sides of the One Power, and how one side is very much calm and you surrender yourself to the One Power and that's how you take control of it, while in the opposite end, on the opposite side, you have to kind of forcefully take control and you cannot let it consume you, otherwise it will control you, not you it. And that's something I really like. So yeah, moving away from that, I want to then bring attention to the pic we have of Moraine, and I noticed straight away she's holding a dagger. Now this is obviously quite an interesting particular pose and feature and design of how they wanted to go with Moraine in showcasing that in this. Of course, as we all know, she's shielded from the One Power at the end of episode 8 in season 1, and of course with her no longer having the protection of that, she has to use different and various methods now to defend herself from, of course, Shadowspawn and anything else that might come and try to bring harm to her. And that's where this dagger comes into play. So instead of having a somewhat almost invisible shield and barrier from which she can protect herself from pretty much anything in the world of the Wheel of Time, she now has to have a physical object that she carries on her. And that is what this dagger is all about. This obviously showcases the great change in how she is going to feel within herself and her confidence, I would assume, in season 2, which we've heard quite a lot about when it comes to Wraith and all these other kind of tidbits and interviews that we've had for the past 2 or 3 years now. And it's just a nice, interesting change and contrast between season 1 Moraine and season 2 Moraine. I'm really hoping we see a lot of character development, a lot more vulnerability from her, because of course now it's more about how can she physically defend herself instead of kind of how she can defend herself with the 1 power, which I think is pretty cool. And then of course now I want to bring ourselves to the introduction or the addition of the Seanchan on the bottom of this poster. So on first glance, without having zoomed in, I just thought it's a battle kind of taking place here, but it seems there's a lot more going on here. While there is a battle at play, as you can see from this zoomed in image of the poster, they are also taking captive, the civilian population within the vicinity of where they are. I'm guessing and presuming this is Falme. As we all know, I think pretty much throughout the entirety of this season, they're most likely going to be in and around the vicinity of Falme. And that's just what I think is at play here. We can see on either side a couple of Seanchan having a battle with, I would say, just the local kind of, what do you call it? The local force, maybe the so-called police or the Tower Watch, however you want to describe it. My brain cannot think or fathom up the word I'm trying to think of right now. But yeah, so that's really interesting. And then I think we either have a look. No, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing else there. I was going to say it's Dragon Mount, but no, it's not Dragon Mount. It's just maybe kind of a rock formation in the background of, this battle / conquering of Falme. So yeah, really interesting to see we finally got a poster, and yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, I had to make a video on it. And just one other final thought I have, it's nice to see the kind of change in the clothes with Perrin, with Rand, with Egwene and Nynaeve. Of course, Egwene and Nynaeve are in their kind of, accepted robes, novices robes. There's only slight differences between those two. Obviously, as we know, kind of the 7 stripes of the Sedai when you become an accepted is on the collar and then on the hem of the dress. Perrin's got a complete change of outfit, which I like. Same goes for Rand. He kind of seems to have a much more regal and kind of well put together, well made attire, which is completely in contrast to what he kind of wore back in season 1, where he's kind of in his Two Rivers attire, sheep herder attire. He seems to have been able to find a bit of work maybe and find a bit of coin and currency and then be able to afford these clothes. Or did he get these clothes in Faldara? I think that's more than likely the cause and the change within his clothes. And of course, Matt is Matt. He just looks kind of as poor and cheap as he always did in season 1, very much in that kind of beggar part of his kind of life and story arc, before the kind of luck starts to kick in. Right guys, I'm going to end the video here. So yeah, thank you all for watching. For those of you that have, if you have any comments on anything to do with the poster, do leave that of course in the comment section down below. And maybe at some point today we're going to get a little teaser trailer, teaser preview before we get the main one at the San Diego Comic-Con, I believe on the 21st or the 23rd, 22nd. It's around there. And of course we do have WhatCon very much around the corner, so I would not be surprised to see a little sneak peek being debuted there as well. Anyway guys, thank you all for watching. I will catch you all very soon in another Wheel of Time video.